Hi, welcome to the Christian Books Club. And today I'm starting another new book. And I don't know if this video is going to freeze, because maybe some videos might. But if it does freeze, I'm not going to stop it. It's just going to be audio only, because I don't know if the video will. And I was going to get into it. So this next book I'm going to talk about is called The Brain Change Program. And we'll see what it actually talks about or what it means. I'm not sure yet until I read the book. So I don't know what it means until I read the book. So the first chapter is called, so the first life change is called microwave or crock pot. So maybe he means that the change that people do is like a microwave or it's like a crock pot. So he says the Paul program found in Acts 9 illustrates dramatic change in a short period of time. So Saul, later more widely known as Paul, was engaged in a holy war against the Christian church, running rampant and killing believers. One day, while on his way to arrest Sorry, I'm outside, so I'm a little distracted because there's a dog out here. A little doggy. Anyways, so Saul, later known as Paul, so while he was arresting followers of Jesus, a light from heaven knocked him to the ground. He had a conversation with Jesus that changed him as a person, so much so that those who knew him couldn't believe it. He went from wanting to hurt Christians to writing much of the New Testament and preaching about Jesus. So, let's see here. So also, while those type of changes are rare, so Paul going to Saul and changing radically, I guess, is rare. It doesn't happen a lot. So it occurs often enough, though, for everyone to want to join Paul program. So who can blame them? Many of us are no different. God removed my anger. And lust, removed my anger, lust, or help me make peace with my sadness by tomorrow. So I want that type of change too when it comes to improving areas of my life. So microwave me into righteousness, God. So that's what he means by microwave. So microwave me into righteousness. Most of us, however, are on the second type of change program. So there's the Paul program and there's the Jacob one. That is, we do most of us, however, on the second type of change program, the Jacob program. That is, we do not experience the microwave change or the device used to cook and change, but rather the slow and steady, increasing change that takes place inside a crock pot. So You're either like Paul and Saul, or you're either like Paul that changed into Saul. It's a dramatic change that's like a microwave into righteousness of God, or you're like a crock pot. So the Jacob program illustrates in Genesis 25:32 involves change with struggle. So how does it? So Jacob lied and cheated to steal his brother Aries' birthright and blessing before freeing from Esau in his anger. So Jacob eventually worked from his uncle Laban, who proved just as deceitful as Jacob. Laban's deception first came through in his treatment of Jacob after Jacob fell in love with Jabin's daughter Rachel. So Jacob agreed to work for 7 years in exchange for Rachel's hand in marriage. But Laban instead tricked him into marrying his other daughter, Leah. So these names I'm not going to even try to say right. Probably not saying them right, but Laban then forced Jacob to work another 7 years for Rachel. Although men commonly had multiple wives back then, that's interesting. So back in the day, a lot of people used to have multiple wives. That wasn't an uncommon thing back in the day. That probably did happen in certain places. So add to this deception a 4 more years work during which Laban repeatedly changed the terms of the agreement regarding Jacob's wages. Genesis 31:7. And Jacob ended up working 20 years because of Laban's deceit. In short, Jacob the deceiver became Jacob the deceived. At the end of this period, Jacob fought with God. And afterward, God changed Jacob's name to Israel, revealing Jacob's new identity. His final wrestling match with God may very well symbolize the 20 years he spent wrestling with his uncle, himself, and God, all of which changed Jacob's character. If you are interested in the details of the story, you can go to chapters 29 and 3. So let's see. So here's an example. If God has not zapped you so that your addiction is gone, then you are probably on the Jacob program, I would say. This means you are in the boot camp of change. So some of us are in the boot camp of change. So are you still in the boot camp of change? So the Jacob program is not a bad thing to feel disappointed about. So a person who all of a sudden makes a changes overnight does have a great testimony that glorifies God. But who would you rather have as a mentor or a wise advisor or a guide? Someone who changed overnight, or someone who fought a long, difficult battle and emerged in victory? A person who has wrestled and won has not only experienced much, but also has knowledge gained to impart. So pray for rapid change, but be ready to wrestle. So pray for rapid change, but be ready to wrestle for it. Just because you're praying for change, get ready to wrestle. Get ready for being in the boot camp of change if you want it. Take courage, for you have much to learn in the journey. So the next point here is... this is not a solo project. So knowing that we can, in fact, change our brains may lead some people to believe that they can solve all their issues within the privacy of their own bedroom. That's it. Which is not true. How are you going to solve all your problems in your privacy of your own bedroom? Yes, I don't have to let others know that I am anything but perfect. I can maintain the facade or the front of having it all together quickly, working on my prevailing issues in secret. I admit this sounds appealing. So it sounds appealing to just put on a front that I am perfect and I will stay perfect, and all of those issues I will keep it in secret. So myself included. So do not want to appear weak. And the reason that we may hide those issues and keep them in the bedroom and keep them in silence, keep them quiet, keep them behind locked doors, so we put up a front that we're always perfect and nothing goes wrong, is because then we're going to appear as being weak. Even though we want to be strong, we want to feel strong, or we want to put off that image that we are strong, but sometimes we don't need to be strong. So, but the more people you have on your brain change team, so who's on your brain change team? If you want to change your brain, then of course you need a team to help you do it. The more likely you are to succeed and make those positive changes permanent. So do you want to succeed and make those positive changes permanent? Well, then you need a brain change team to help you with those things. So you can not only encourage you, but also you can be the light in the areas of need, so you can change what you might not yet be aware of. So after all, we can be masters at believing ourselves, or deceiving, or believing in a lie about ourselves. So one of the two. So it is also important to note that brain pathways, or basically brain path, go so deep and are so strong that you alone cannot change them. So you alone cannot change your brain. You can try to, but you always need help from God, or wherever it may came from, to help you maybe change your brain a little bit, change your ideas. Maybe you need a course correction, so God can help you, can lead you, can guide you into the right way. And then he says, it is highly unlikely that basically addicts or drug users can independently change years of addictive behaviors. And that's true. I mean, at least the people at work, I mean, I don't know them personally, but I'm pretty sure that what he said, that people who use drugs can unlikely to independently change because of the addicted behavior. So why would they change if they have an addicted behavior or drug use? Success is more likely when they attend small support groups or seek help. But if you're not or if you don't do drugs, if there are no personal programs that offer help and supports whatever is causing you problems, then find a church group and let it serve as your treatment center. Share your struggles with others whom you trust, so that they too can help you. And that's very important. That share your struggles with others who you trust. Not share your struggles with others who you don't trust, because how are they going to help you when you don't even trust them? So make sure when you're sharing struggles with your friends that you know you can trust them to help you, and not make that struggle worse or cause problems when you tell them about your struggle, that they can help you. Because you don't have to do this alone. Just because you have a struggle, maybe you are in a struggle, maybe you're in the middle of a struggle, maybe you're going through a struggle, but remember that you are not alone to get out of that struggle. You may be stuck in your brain, but change is impossible without the support of others. So like you said, make sure you have a good change support team, because without it, how are you going to change that? It's impossible without the support of others. So if you want support, you make sure that you get it from good people. So an example, think of car repairs. Maybe you can Maybe you can re-hulk, So think of car repairs. Maybe you can fix it, but you need a professional technician. When it comes to replacing an, I'm not sure what that stands for, HVAC system. So you may know how to change the oil in your car, but an auto repair shop will change it much faster, and you probably need a mechanic for serious repairs. So he's comparing that to your brain and how that relates to change. Just because you know how to change the oil doesn't mean you're a professional at doing it. Maybe you want to change, but you need professional people to give you advice that know how to do it a lot faster. So also for the example, the need for some necessary repairs can go basically not seen or not noticed. And without prognostic checkups on your vehicle, you risk danger, its ability to drive. So it is better to have help in identifying and resolving issues before the wheels fall off. So do you want to be like the car example and just not identify any issues until the wheels start falling off, until you run out of gas, until the axle breaks or whatever? And then he said, or it's more of a question, why are you trying to limit God to one-on-one interaction strictly within the conditions of prayer? I'm going to read that again. Why are you trying to limit God to one-on-one interactions strictly within the context or within conditions of prayer? The more wide the street is available to God to reach you, the better. So the more wide the street is, the more available to God to reach you, the better. So I changed my prayer. So this is a prayer that he says. I'm just going to skip that. So God's primary approach to working in your life may involve other people. So God doesn't just work through prayers, but be aware of the other people in your life, because maybe God is putting people directly in your proximity so you can help them, or maybe God is putting them in your proximity so they can change or help you with some struggle that you have. So just be aware what God can do. It's not just prayers that God answers, it's also people that God can use in your life. And God may use you as a primary approach. So it works both ways. God may put people in your life, and God may put you in somebody else's life so you can reach someone else. Just as God puts somebody in your life to reach you, maybe God puts you in somebody else's life to reach them. When we need others to help us identify the parts of ourselves in need of change. So we need other people to help us identify those areas of change. Sometimes we can't do it ourselves, and I think it's a lot harder. The more eyes you have, the more minds you get, and the better I think that you can see the change that you need, instead of just on your own trying to solve your own struggle. So this is so the positive feelings from supporting friends can go a long way. That's true. We need to have positive friends to support us so we can get through our struggle. What happens when there's no support? What happens when there's no supportive friends in your struggle? You're not going to get very far. So this is just a point. So reflect. So it says, read and think through the last half of 2 Corinthians 10:5. It says, taking every thought captive, or taking every thought prisoner to the obedience of Christ. So what thoughts do you want to take prisoner or captive? So what thoughts do you want to take prisoner or captive? How effective have you been at stopping negative thoughts? What strategies do you use? In what areas of your life have you felt as though you've been in long-term wrestling match or struggle? How does the story of Jacob bring you hope? So that's basically the first chapter. Like I said, each book, it depends on the book how long these videos are. Some can be a lot shorter, some can be a lot longer. It just depends on the book and what it's about. So that was chapter 1. I'm not going to say chapter 2 because it looks good. I don't want to talk about it right now. Save that for actually, I'm not going to do this book tomorrow. I'm going to just rotate between 4 books. So every day I'll be doing and rotating until I'm done with all the books. And then I have another new book I'm going to start tomorrow. But that was chapter 1, microwave change or crock pot change. And I think I'm just going to read that one more time because I think it's important, that point, that positive feelings come from supporting friends go a long way. So if those people in your life are not supportive and you're struggling and you share and they're not supportive of what you're struggling with and they don't want to help you, then I think you need to just leave them out of your zone or out of your proximity, out of your atmosphere, out of your group, whatever you want to say. If they're not supportive of your struggle and you want to get out of it, then maybe you should let them go. Because if you don't let those friends go and they not supporting your struggle, maybe they're reinforcing your struggle and those friends are just making it worse every day until you want to just give up because you can't get the help that you need because you're looking in the wrong places or you're looking at the wrong friends to get help, when you should be looking at God first. You should be praying to God that He can help you in your life, whatever struggle you're going through. So God is good all the time, and I'm out.